Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. My name's Joe. Drink of the day is a cold can of Red Bull, and as per the results of the poll, we are jumping straight ahead to OP11. And where better to start than with the Tier 0 menace, Blue Purple Luffy. I will be discussing this deck list, because it's not a deck we've played in a while, so if you want to skip straight to the games, go straight ahead. Timestamps are in the description. So credit for this list goes to Winder, who was able to get first place at the massive 3v3 event over very recently in Japan. He played Blue Purple Luffy as part of his team and was able to win the whole event. So I decided, let's just start with this list. There's a few interesting things about it, and I have made one change. So firstly, the one change I made is I changed one of the 9-cost Secret Luffy to one of the 8-cost Secret Luffy. I think the 8-cost Secret Luffy is really nice for helping dealing with Blackbeard in particular, but also into some other decks. Things like Belo Betty, you can bounce a lot of their stuff. Things like Zoro, you can bounce their choppers. And I do quite like just having access to something to do on 8. Because when you have a suboptimal ramp in the early game, sometimes you just end up on 8 Don with nothing much to do. And this Luffy is a really nice thing to do. So if you don't know what Blue Purple Luffy does, here's what he does. When you get to 8 or more Don at the start of your turn, so before your Don phase, you look at the top 5, grab a Straw Hat Crew to hand, and then you can put the rest back either on top or on bottom. This lets you stack your deck for your main man, who is Sanji. There's a 9/9 that plays a 9 from the top of your deck, which is just bonkers value. This is simply Marco to some good success, but now we have a leader that fully takes advantage of this. This card is truly crazy. So the main things you're going to be playing with this is Lin, who gets you a heal and removes one of your opponent's mid-range pieces, which is really important into decks like Green Purple Luffy and other aggro decks as well, like Betty. Also really good at dealing with 4-cost Kuzans in the black decks, which is pretty good. The other main target you have is this 9-cost Luffy. He's got Rush and he draws a card and he's got an incredible stat line. 10 is really good because into opposing Blue Purple Luffys, it demands Giant +1 card, which is very good, obviously. We also have 2 of the blue Secret Luffy. He's alright. The fact that he just has Rush inherently is very nice into Blackbeard, because they're going to turn off all your on plays, which means that this guy cannot gain Rush, but he just has it. And being able to bounce a 4 for the cost of 1 card from your hand gets rid of things like Jesus Burgess, gets rid of Zoro Juros in Green Purple Luffy, gets rid of Ivankovs. It's just some nice tempo efficiency. It's just a good card. Nothing too flashy, but it is good. This can also bounce your own card, so if you've played out like a Zorojuro in the early game and you decide that you don't need it on the board anymore, well, you can trash 1 card to pick him up and get an extra 1,000 counter in your hand, which is alright. In terms of ramp, we've got 16 ramp cards, which is pretty crazy. Got 4 Bonclay, he's a classic, you know what he does. We've got 4 Zorojuro. This is probably your best ramp on the going first curve to play out on 3. However, do be careful, because some decks can interact with this, and you don't want to be caught short. We've got 4 Gear Second, and this card's crazy. This is a new card, it's a 1 Don event. You can activate main rest 2 more, so it costs 3. You can ramp one as rested, so it's a 3-cost event that ramps as rested, or it's a 3k counter for your leader, which this card just does everything. It's really nice that it's 3k, because it gets out of those like 8 into 6s without costing you Don -2 with the Giant, which can sometimes be problematic if you've already done Don -1 with the Luffy or the Lin. So the Gear Second, really an all-star. And this is one that you don't always see in these Blue Purple Luffy lists, but I really like it. Godthread is so good at dealing with certain annoying threats that you need to deal with whilst getting to the end of the game. 4-cost Kuzan, absolute classic. Into decks like Lucci and even Black Smoker and Black Luffy, this guy sticking on the board causes you no end of troubles, but if you can just get rid of him, great. Let's take this off. 5-cost Perospero. Purple Katakuri is a decent little play at the minute, so this 5-cost Perospero, being able to remove this and ramp with Godthread is crazy. It's really powerful. Another one, into the Betty decks, you can move both of these Ivankovs whilst ramping. This one especially, very annoying. Karasu is another card you can remove with this, which is pretty good. And last but not least, against Green Purple Luffy, if they do not have the boat, you can remove Sanji and Pudding. And removing Sanji and Pudding is just, that's the aim of the game, right? If they get too crazy with the aggro, the Green Purple Luffy can easily get you. But if you can remove enough of their stuff and slow them down, then the game is yours to lose, right? The game is yours. So I do think the gold thread, whilst it does cost 5, the value you get out of this into certain matchups, incredible. In terms of 2Ks, this build is a little bit higher on 2Ks than most. We're playing 11. Got 4 Uso Hachi. He can rest a blocker at the end of the game. Pretty good. Got 4 of the Sanji. This honestly doesn't come up that much in this deck, I've found. The fact that you can't play it off of Sanji because it is named Sanji, it's actually somewhat of a downside, but it's still a 6/6 blocker. It's still straw hat searchable. And you got 3 of this Nami. This honestly hasn't really come up that much for me, but I could see how it would. Bouncing like a Rose Nante for 1 Don at the end of the game could be pretty cool. If you didn't want to play the Nami, you could swap them out, for example, for this Vanilla Chopper 2K, or the Franoske for a little bit more rush into Blackbeard in particular. But I can see the merits for the Nami, so I'm keeping her for now, and I have some Altars, so here we are. In terms of the last couple of pieces, we've got 3 Giant, not 4 interestingly, but honestly, there's a lot of turns where you just can't afford to Giant because you're doing Dom with -1 with this, and then your leader effect won't fight if you Giant. 2 of the Pudding, because it's Pudding, very good in Mirror, very good into Bonnie, can be pretty good into Lucci as well. Playing this off of Sanji is low-key quite good sometimes, so yeah, don't sleep on Pudding. And 4 of the Nami blocker, if you're on, for example, 7 Don, you can use this to set up for a raw Sanji next turn if you don't have another ramp, or just want to get the guaranteed. And it's just a crazy cycle. Draw 3, get rid of 2. That's crazy. That's like Queen +1. Pretty nuts. I'm a big fan of this card. And last but not least, we have 1 copy of Red Rock. This is obviously searchable off your leader effect, so having it at 1, not the end of the world. Sometimes you just need this. Very good into things like Shanks for dealing with big 10-12s. Also not bad into Purple Katakuri for dealing with their big 10-12. And sometimes just at the end of the game, you have a turn where you could afford to play this, and it just gets rid of a massive blocker like a Katakuri blocker, and makes your lethal so much easier. The one card that is not present in this list that you really might have been expecting to be is this 8-cost Katakuri. So this guy has been fairly standard in these blue-purple Luffy decks since the very start of OP11 over in Japan. This is an 8/8 blocker that at the end of the turn ramps Arrested Don and restands up to 2 of your Big Mum Pirates type cards, which obviously includes himself, but also includes Lin Lin and amusingly this Pudding, but mainly himself. He's an 8/8 blocker that restands. Card is obviously very good, but this build, I think he was going for more of the aggression. Let's focus on doing extra rush in the mirror to force your opponent to have the answers, as opposed to trying to play defensively to try and answer your opponent. And I absolutely see the merits of that. This Luffy, by comparison to the Kata, obviously is not going to get you out of any aggression, but he is going to get another 10k swing into your opponent's face, which is going to demand 2 cards minimum, even if they have the Kata, or a Giant in a card. He also draws a card, which just gets you even more value, digs you further through your deck to cycle and see more and more of these Sanji combos. So I really do see this. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's right, but he won the tournament, so it can't be too bad. So that's the list. Thank you for listening to me waffling. Here's the games. Got to go into green-purple Luffy. I'm going to take first. We don't have a ramp on our first turn. We do have Bonkers into Godthread, which is not bad. I think we'll mulligan though. We're really looking for that triple ramp. Okay, that's not a triple ramp. That's just a Godthread. Although double Godthread's not the worst thing in the world, right? We don't have anything else, so let's slam in big. Sad that we don't have any ramp, but what can you do? We play 8 3-cost rampers. Didn't hit one. Is what it is. I think is the technical term. See what he's got here for 4. Maybe you'll have a Zorojuro that we can get some value with the Godthread on. That'd be nice. We'll just have to see. So it is just going to be a single ramp this turn. Zorojuro, we can get rid of him. No problem at all. I'll take this. Yeah, Luffy's okay. So we're going to be going from 5 to 6, draw to 8. We don't have an 8 cost to play. We can Nami set up for our next turn. Yeah, let's just get rid of this, get him on active. Then hit him with the 7 on 5, and he'll probably take, yeah. Then let's pass it over, see if he has the Sanji Pudding. Presumably will, which is nice. He'll even get the draw. Chopper. That's not ideal. You don't need me to tell you that. That is not ideal. Will he use his leader effect? Let's see. Will he use his leader effect? No. Okay. Well, we could Godthread, clear the Zorojuro. But I think establishing a guaranteed Sanji Linlin off this Nami is going to be pretty good. If we swing, he just clears this. I don't mind not swinging this turn. But equally, if he has Luffy Taro Sanji Pudding next turn, we're not in that good a spot. I think we should clear the chopper on balance. Although you can definitely look at this both ways, but yeah, that's... I'm not sure about that one. Let me know what you think. Let's deploy this. We'll start placing on top. We'll send back the Linlin and the Luffy, and then the turn. So if he goes too crazy with the attack, we've got a gear second this turn. Not too bad. No Luffy Taro, just a Sanji Pudding. Will he have 2 though? Right. Can have another one yet. Boat buffs it up. Very nice. Stops us from moving it. Which is pretty good. Yep, we see the 6. We'll give him a 1k here. We'll go no blocker. Give the Nami. Because we don't know what he's doing with the rest of this Don, right? Another 6. We'll go no blocker. Gear second. Yeah. Resolve. Is this Luffy Taro? Has he had that much stuff? Okay, it's Secret Luffy. We can't really stand. We can 2k out of this one, but I don't mind going down to 2 because we're about to heal. With Linlin. Yeah. Oh, we do get to use our card action. Anyway. Let's take the gear second. Oh no, let's take the Zorojuro. And start placing on top. We'll draw the gear second so he doesn't know. Play the Linlin. Put the Bon in life. Cool. Let's go 6 into Zorojuro. And then we're just going to put this in life. Get this guy out of here. Trashing. Gold thread for sure. Game 1 life. Put this at the bottom. And the turn. This is the scary card for us. This 6 cost Luffy. Terrifying. Such a scary card. And the fact that he didn't put the Going Merry buff on this. And decided to put it on the Sanji Pudding instead. Made our decision just that little bit easier, right? Both on 9. He should use this now. 8 on 6. We'll go no blocker, gear second. Resolve. Another 8. Gonna go no blocker resolve on that one. I don't think he'll stand this up. And if he does, we can counter 2 of the swings. Or we can counter 1 of the swings, hopefully. We'll give no blocker. And give him that. Because the most this should swing is 8. 8-8 if it's going to swing twice. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gives it the +2 cost. Are we actually swinging 9-9? No, we're not. I think we're just going to block here. Resolve that there. And we need to try and take this out. Let's use the card action. No Linlin in there, so we'll just use the one from hand. That's fine. We'll grab a 2k. So we'll play this. Start placing on top. Because we can put this in life to guarantee us an extra ramp. We'll draw the Gum Gum. Put the God Thread in life with the Linlin. Yeah, that's good. So then we get the extra ramp and we can use double giant next turn, should we need it. So we'll get rid of the Sanji Pudding, of course, which is good. Let's go 6 into Zorojiro. See if he wants to save this. It's on 9. 9 Don is crazy for green purple Luffy, right? So good when they can get high. Okay, at least we got rid of one thing. Let's see if we can get rid of this with 9 and 9. It'll cost him an event and a 2k 1k probably. 2k 2k there. 9 on 7. Yeah, there's the giant. Okay, at least it cost him like 1 Don for the turn. Not the best, but could be worse. Then we'll go 9 Lin. Don -1. Trashing. I think the Sanji at this point. Game 1 life. And then put this at the bottom in the turn. Nice. So we've got our double giant set up with the extra ramp here from the God Thread. Don't really want to double giant, but if we have to, we have to, right? There's a Sanji Pudding. Uses leader effect. Very nice. 7 more Don active, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a chopper. Okie dokie. Man, this deck's tough to beat. Because we heal them, right? It sucks. We have to. We have to get rid of their stuff. But healing them really sucks. Let's give a 1k. We'll see what else wants to swing. This is the only thing that can swing, right? He's played 2 Sanji Puddings this turn. Damn. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Doesn't use anything. Okay, he wants to attack his life, so he can go for game next turn. Choose the card action. I don't really want any of these. We can Sanji Luffy, though. Just to max out our board. Right? We'll take the Zorojiro. Start placing on top. We'll draw the Sanji. Play the Luffy. Draw the Bon. Don't need the God Thread. Return. Now we'll go 6 lead. He's going to go for game next turn regardless. We know what's happening here. But we've got to attack to force him to do that, right? That's the thing. He should just block with the chopper first. Just get this guy off the board, because you never know. We can have some way to like rest it or whatever. And he does. Smart guy. Smart guy. 9 on 6. Yeah, you just take all of these. But we've got to put him in the position where he dies next turn regardless and has to go for game. And then we'll see if we get there. We've got a lot of cards. We've got double giants because we know we're getting that extra ramp out of life. And then we may as well just fully attack. So if he wants that extra Luffy, he's going to get it anyway by taking a life by swinging with this. So we may as well just let him have it straight away. Yep. Yep, that's a lot of Don. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swings. 7 swings is crazy, right? It's just nuts. We'll give him the 2k 1k on this one. Give him the old 2k 1k. Yep, we'll give him the old 2k 1k again. Will be a bit annoying if he just swings 6 here. These two have got to be returned. These have got to be returned. So this is going to be... Yeah, this is going to do 6. And then this is 8, 8, 8, 8. So I'm going to take and get the active Don up. Because I think this is just 6, right? And then we've got 4 8s coming. We can counter 3 of them. So we should be okay here. Yeah. Yeah, this is always 8s, so we can do all the giants last, right? Yeah. Yeah, we can just gain all the knowledge and then do the giants. Trash the Luffy. Buff the leader. Resolve. Yeah, and then he's got 2 more 8s. How do we counter out of that many 8s, man? That was crazy. That was crazy. We'll give him the giant. Trash the god thread. Buff this up. Resolve. More gear seconds. Yeah, we just about got there. That's pretty crazy. 7 swings, and we got out of all of them. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. This deck is bonkers, man. This blue-purple Luffy shit. Whew. And he might think we got lucky on that event trigger, giving us an active Don. But we put it there with Linlin, right? We knew it was there, and we were playing around it. He chose to not swing with his Luffy, or his... yeah, it was just the Luffy last turn. Which, yeah, we just swung back into it, I'm pretty sure. But hey, I'll take that dub. He drew very, very well. We also drew very, very well. So that was a pretty good exhibition of that matchup, I think. Got a game versus Shanks. He shows him first. I mean, this curve for second, really not bad, right? You got Bonk Lane to Godthread into Sanji. Let's go with the keep. Keep on this one. Nope. Pass. We've got a nice 2k there, nothing crazy. He's going to play out the Hongo. We're going to go no. The Hongo is pretty interesting because it can help him remove our stuff a lot easier. We're going to ramp up and then swing in for 7. Either get a 2k or a life, and we get the life. That works for me. 5, maybe we'll see a Marco. Nope, going to go 6. I'm going to take your 6, grab a Luffy. We see 4 for Chopper. We still can't use the card action, sadly. So what do we want to Godthread, right? We can either get rid of the Chopper or the Hongo. I think it's the Chopper, because the Chopper just gets very, very free value a lot. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of value. Let's get rid of that, get an active Don, and then we'll just swing in massive. 9 on 5, and he'll take, yeah, and we'll pass it over. So maybe Ben Beckman, get rid of the Bon Clay. Newgate's good too. Newgate's actually a lot better, because he'll get to swing. We will give a 1k here in the Nami, and we'll see what we get off the top with the leader effect. Linlin is good. Definitely. I'll take a Sanji. Start placing it on top. Let's draw a Nami. Play a Linlin. Put a Nami in life. I don't really want the Bon Clay. He's not that cool. Yes, let's put it like that. We're not going to event this turn. So let's go 7 at life. He'll probably leader effect 2k this one. Never mind, I lied. We'll go Sanji, Linlin, Don -1. Trashing one of the Luffys, I think. Well, we've got a lot of Namis coming up, right? Let's trash a Nami. Game 1 life. And I will actually put this at the top. Normally, you put them at the bottom, right? But I'm going to put this at the top because a 2k at the bottom is actually quite good. And this at the top is quite bad. Like, he's not going to particularly want this Hongo at the top. Now, he's on 9. We'll see if he has enough reduction to remove our dudes. He needs Rayleigh plus something else to get a removal with a Newgate. There's the Snake. That's good. Does he have some other kind of reduction? Rayleigh is enough. Yeah, Rayleigh. Okay, we do see the Rayleigh. Nice. And then we'll take the 8s for sure. Yeah, resolve. Any other week. We use this. What do we get? Nothing crazy there, actually. Let's just take the 2k and ship these out, I think. Yeah, I don't really want those. We get another 2k. That's okay. This is at 7. We do need to remove this Newgate. Probably going to go with the Luffy this turn. We don't... We don't have any events to keep one up for. We could draw one off the Luffy. Let's start with a 6, see if we can get him to counter this one. Never mind. We cannot. Let's go 7 with Sanji. We do see the leader effect plus 2k come out. I don't think he has much counter. I think that's why he's not been countering. We don't draw anything, so I'm going to put this on the Luffy. And I'm going to clear the Newgate. Then we'll pass it over. Now he can max clear 1 unit per turn, right? If he has the big Shanks. He does have the big Shanks. We're going to see an 8 on 6. We'll counter this one. Trash that, and trash the Nami. Use the card action. No more Sanjis. No more Sanjis, not ideal. We do get the Giant, though. That's very good. I think this turn we'll just go with another Luffy. Another Luffy seems good. Keep up the pressure. So we'll take the Usahachi. I think I will actually start placing on top. We'll put the Giant there. Draw that. And then Giant can draw us into these two, I guess. Yeah, seems reasonable. So let's go. We want to hold one up, so let's just swing 6 first. 6 here. He's going to lead effect 1k. We'll hit him with a 9. Then we'll go with the Luffy. -1. Set 0 optional. And then we'll hit him with the 10. Then we'll pass. He's at 0. He's got to clear all of our dudes. It's not going to happen. We can take this one. We can very easily counter out of a massive swing if he has it. What I don't want him to do is clear our board. We can counter 15, right? Yeah, let's just take... no need. No need. Rush Shanks, sure. Giants. And then we win. Yeah, cool. Shanks, he's just not powerful enough in this format. If you get the Sanji on curve... Well, I mean, you saw what happened there, right? And I think that turn that I attacked the Newgate was actually potentially just a mistake. I think if we'd have pushed at life, we'd have probably just won a turn earlier. So, hey, GG to our opponent, though. Let's move on. I'm going to go into Katakuri, and I'm definitely taking first. No ramp at all. Let's mulligan that. This is good. We've got the gear second. We've at least got 1 ramp, right? Getting the 1 ramp is the important one. Getting 2 is even better, of course, but... Plays out the 2 cat. That's interesting. We're not going to do anything there. The Bon is good. We'll see how this goes here. We'll definitely be using the gear second here. Pass it over. See if he's got the pudding. The pudding's always good to get down early. Brulee, okay, that also works. That's a strict ramp, which is interesting. Gets a Stroizen off the pudding. He's trying to match our ramp, I guess. Pretty cool. Charlotte Anana. Is he going to do the Dom -1? You have to, right, if you're going to swing. But then that undoes the ramp. Sure. I don't know what the point of that was then. Whatever. Gold Thread is perfect. We can get rid of this Katakuri before it starts causing us problems. We won't get to... Yeah, we can never double ramp here, because if we add a 3-cost ramp, like a gear second, we could double ramp, but this is fine. Let's get rid of this, get an active Don. Then just swing him big. He might just block with the Anana here. I think taking is fine, though. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, he's going to block. That's fine. He's obviously going to block with that at some point. So using it now versus in like a turn's time, it's whatever. It's whatever. But getting rid of that 2-cat is really good, because putting those combos together, it's much easier said than done, right? Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. So getting rid of 1, pretty good. Don't really want to take 2 swings, so I'll give him 1k here, and then we'll take the big leader swing. This one's going to be an 8. Yep. You get the... Excuse me. You get to do the leader effect for free. Good, you get 1 back with that. We're going to resolve. I wish I could use my leader effect. Unfortunately, we can YOLO, right? I kind of want to YOLO. I kind of want to YOLO, man. There's a good chance we hit something, right? Fuck it. Sure. We got a 1-1. What a treat. Let's just hit him 6 at face. I don't care. It's Brulee. I don't really care about this guy. It's a risk, right? But we got a guy on the board. We can start swinging with the Sanji next turn. And we have this. Maybe we can pick this up with our 8-cost blue Luffy in the turn or so. To just get it as a 2k in hand. And you never know. These little weenies, sometimes you swing with them, and sometimes it comes up at the end of the game. 8 cat. Really nice that we're able to deal with that 2 cat, so that he couldn't summon this with that. Having to play it out manually, much less scary. Much less scary. We are going... Yeah, I think I will 2 cat this one, just in case we don't see the Lin Lin. Because we don't know what we're going to hit off this, right? We don't know. We'll use the card action. Well, we do hit the Lin Lin, but this works out fine. Yeah, it works fine. We'll take a 2k. Yeah. Start placing on top. We'll draw the Lin Lin. Put, I guess, the Zorager in life. And then leave the other 2 there. Sure. Don't really need a Don this turn, but equally, let's just go 6, see what he does with that. Because if he blocks, I'll swing 10 to the Kata. Get a leader effect plus 1k, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I think I will still do 10, because I really don't want to use Giant anyway. If he swings massive, he could 10 Lin. But we do have 2 2s. It's fine. It stops him doing block 2k, right? It stops that. Deploy this. Dom -1. Trashing. Honestly, a giant. Gain a life. I don't really want to get rid of any of these. So let's just pass it over. Man, imagine how good it would be if we hit like an actually meaningful target. We'll go... Yeah, sure. I don't mind taking 2 swings. If this is 10 Lin. It's not the end of the world. Just Kata, okay. Then what we're going to see, another 8. Another 8, maybe. 7's even better. Yeah, 7's even better. Surprised you did that. Let's just give him the blocker. Cool, works for me. Works for me. Let's use the card action. Luffy's very good. I don't need these god threads at all. I think I'll just take the Luffy and ship the rest out. Although the gear second is quite good. The gear second is quite good. Definitely going to take the Luffy. The rest of these are garbage, though. Let's just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Yeah, we get a 2k. That's nice. Cool. We'll go 6 at lead. Probably see leader effect 1 or 2. Leader effect plus 1k. Seems good. Seems good to me. Yep. Let's go with a 9. He's going to use the... when 2 men are fighting, the last thing I need. Maybe I should have played out the Luffy. I didn't think about that. Yeah, if we play out the Luffy there, he can't do that. That's a small mistake. That's a small mistake, actually. Interesting. We're going to go with this. Turn 1, turn 0 optional. Yeah, we would have drawn that God thread, and then he wouldn't have known what was on the top. Okay. That's something to note for next time, right? Something good to note for next time. We'll give 2k 1k here. I don't mind gianting this turn. Obviously, I'd rather not, but it's okay. 10 Lin exists, right? 10 Lin exists. And if he wants to start attacking our board, that's fine. We'll take this one. 10 Lin? Need 10 Lin enjoyers? 10 Lin enjoyers? It's tricky though, right? Because with 0 life, it's just kind of tough, you know? It's just kind of tough. 9 Lin, sure. Well, I doubt he puts that in our life. He'd be pretty sick if he did. But yeah, there's no way. Yeah, smart guy. Smart fella. Smart fella. Okay, well, we don't have to go for game here now. And we are being hit with a 6-on-6. We'll definitely counter this one. Nice that we don't have to use the giant. Always nice when that happens. The boys stand up. And we'll use the card action. Red Rock's decent. And we'll take the 2k here, I think. Yeah, I like the Red Rock because then we can giant and not feel bad about it. We can even double giant, right? Potentially. Yeah, I'll take the giant. Place on top. We'll draw the red rock, just that he doesn't know about it, right? We can do the rest of our turn, and he's not going to know. We'll do the red rock. Then, I guess, off the giant. We want to draw the Sanji. Don't really care between these two, so that works for me. Cool. Let's start with 7 lead. See what he does with that. He can do leader effect +2. Seems good. He does have 1 for that counter event again. We can't stop it this time. Can't stop it this time. He's going to take that. Hit him with another 9. Probably use the counter event on this one, if I had to guess. Gonna block and sack. Wowee. Then I think I'm going to do this, right? Yeah, that's GG's. I thought as much. It didn't really matter, though. If we attack there and he blocks and we red rock the other little in, it's GG's regardless. He shouldn't have played out that 2-cat on 2. It's so greedy against a deck that does have ways to deal with it, right? I mean, you saw, we did top deck the God Thread, but, you know, if we'd had a different line, maybe we'd have played an Uso Hachi to try and deal with it. Either way, nice game against the Purple Katakuri. Let's move on. We'll give him to Belo Betty. This should be one of our worst matchups, if not our very, very worst matchup. I mean, we've got good cards here, right? We've got to keep this. The 8-cost Luffy is really good. The Bon Clay is obviously a very good ramp. And the Gear Second's a nice backup. And we've got the even curve as well. He's got the stage. That's a nice start. Help his consistency. Ditches Inazuma. Grabs 5-cost. Yeah, that's really strong on 5. We've got nothing there. Nothing there. The God Thread's also really good. So we've got our ramp set. Looking pretty reasonable. If we just see a swing of 8, I will use the Gear Second. Because it's just quite convenient this turn. Ditches Ivankov. That's interesting. That's usually a very good one. Gets a Betty Searcher. Gonna play out that. Seems good. Where are we going from here? We've got a pretty nice curve here, right, though. 4 to 5. We're going to draw to 7. Then we'll ramp up, and then we'll be at 10. And we can use this Luffy very efficiently. 7. I don't want to take this. I wish I had a 2K, but I will use the Gear Second and resolve that there. Nothing doing there. I don't really want to attack and get a trigger. No, we'll play patient. We'll play patient. This turn's going to be the Ivankov turn. So the nice thing is we can kill at least one thing with the God Thread. And he's not going to be swinging, because he's going to be playing Ivankov. So he can have no pressure. Unless he chooses to not play Ivankov. But that would be a little crazy. That's usually just the best play on 5. Does ditch a Lindbergh, grabs a 2-2 Kuma. Not too worried about him. I don't need my Bon Clay, it's just a ramp. Morley Kuma, sure, that works for me. Interesting. Okay. We still can't use that, sadly. But we can from next turn. This is... I can't believe he didn't play out that Ivankov. That was very odd. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm just going to pass, though. We're not going to attack and give him any stinky triggers. He's got that Ivankov. He's got the big one. I think you really want to play the big one as soon as possible to get the value out of deck. These are at 5 now. We can put one Don on. We can go 1-1-1, swings 3 6s, which is not bad, to be fair. To be fair to him. We're going to get to remove at least something. Hopefully, we don't see... What's it come down? Karasu. What does that do? Fate main, you put the top or bottom card of your life in your hand. This character 1000. Okay. Not sure what to make of that one. Can't lie. We'll resolve that there. I'll take one, and then we'll counter the other, for sure. Yeah, not really sure what to make of any of that. We'll give the Nami is better than the Usahachi. The Usahachi can help us when we go for game. We'll use the card action. Linlin's strong. Could Linlin him this turn instead of the Luffy. But I do kind of like just getting the Luffy established. Either way, I think we want to take this Usahachi. Let's take the Usahachi. Start placing on top. Which do we want more? I think the extra life is pretty good, right? The extra life, and then go with the Luffy. Yeah, so let's draw the Linlin. Put this in life, because the ramp may come up later. And then we'll leave these here. Yeah, sure. We'll go 6 into Kuma, I guess. Yeah, we'll go 6 into Kuma. We'll go 9 for this. -1. Trashing. Red Rock, don't need that. Put heal, put this at the bottom, end the turn. Now, there is an argument I could have done it the other way around, because this cannot boop the 5-cost Ivankov. But it can boop whatever the Ivankov plays, so it's not the end of the world. If the Ivankov whiffs, though, I'm going to look like a big dummy. Betty grabs another 4-cost. It's fine. Not that worried. We will be taking at least one swing from this Sabo here. Don't really want to take more than one. We'll see. Karasu is good. That guy's got to go. That guy's got to go. We know his hand is a... We don't know this card. We know that this card is an Ivankov. There goes the Ivankov. Gonna go buff, buff, buff. Certainly here. Yeah, these two and the Ivankov are going to get buffed. Karasu, this can't attack. That was a slight mistake there, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. Okay. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. 5 will go, no thank you. Yes, every day of the week. We don't actually need that ramp right now. This turn we're going with this. We'll ditch the God Thread. Playing a very low card count is weird, but it's what we've got. Yeah, it's what we've got. Will he use his stage? No. Cool. Let's use the card action. Another Linlin. Another Linlin's actually pretty good, right? But if we go with the Luffy this turn, we can Giant. Although the Linlin just getting rid of the Karasu is good. Yeah. I think that's going to be the move. Let's take the Giant, start placing on top. We'll draw the Linlin. But it doesn't really matter at this point. Put a 1k in life. I'll put the Nami in life. You never know. We might need the Nami. These other two can go here. Then let's go 9 into Sabo. Get the clear on that. 6 into Betty. Get the clear on that. 9 for Linlin. Dot -1. Trashing. God Thread. Gain a life. Put this at the bottom. End the turn. And now it's over to him. Over to you, cowboy. Got to run out of good cards eventually, right? And we are developing our board to the point where we can eventually make a push for game. We just got to be careful not to go too low. And one of the problems with that is we currently have 0k counter in our hand other than these events. We're always saying the Ivankov hit this turn. I'll happily use the gear second to counter 1. We may well end up taking 2 swings, which... Not ideal, but it is what it is. We'll see. Stage comes down, ditching a 2k. Okay, that's pretty scary. That's not optimal. That is not optimal. He'll probably play that out for 3. He's getting a little spooky now. He is getting a little spooky now. There's the Inazuma. Yep. Buff, buff, buff. Very good. Okay. Okay, okay. Karasu as well. That's scary. That is scary. We're probably taking a lot of swings this turn. Yeah, what's this? This is 8 already. This is 7. So this will be 8. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Yeah, we're not doing much about that. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Karasu, man, he's so scary. We can get out of this, but then we can't necessarily... We can't use leader effect, so we go down -1 card. If we get a 2k off this, though, we can get out of both. Then maybe just stabilize. Just the Nami buff this. Ew, that's not good. It's not really what I was hoping for. You have to give all of these. That's bad. That is very, very bad. Right. Can we go to 0? We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we can't afford to go to 0 though. Wow, that sucks. I really needed a 2k there. Huh. Okay. Wish we could. Zorojuro Zai, I guess. He's got no cards though, so we can clear his entire board. And then we've got to go for game next turn. That's the game plan. Yeah, we do have to clear everything though, which is a bit of a bummer. Hoping for no trigger on this first life. Oh, fuck. Piss, man. That sucks. That sucks so much. You just lose now, right? Balls, man. Balls. We needed to attack there as well, because we only have 4 swings next turn, right? But now he gets to go for game. And there's nothing we can do about it. If he can buff this up to 7. For free. And he has 10 Don, he can split them like 10, 12. We just lose. Which sucks. Unless this is a giant. If this card is exactly giant, we have a chance. Man, trigger on the first life sucks. After we played so well as well. That's crazy. Never know, maybe he misplays, right? Maybe he makes a mistake. Yeah, we know this is a Karasu and this is also a Karasu, right? These are 2 Karasus in hand. He should just go for game. He's got 2 swings. We've got 1 Don. You got to go for it. You got to go for it, man. But I really hope he doesn't. Because that would work out brilliantly for us. Every time. No questions asked. No questions asked. You want to take out dude? No. Okay, what's going on here then? Why did he do it like that? Why didn't he trash him? He had game. He had game. It's just Luffy, right? Yeah, it's just Luffy. We've got to go for it. There's nothing in there that lets us stall. No. Doesn't matter. I guess we'll put the... it just doesn't matter. Right, he has 2 Karasus in hand, so 7 is guaranteed. And then we know these last 2 lives are not any stinky triggers, so we should get there. But we really should have lost this game, right? We really, really, really should have lost this game. Which, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. 9's guaranteed. Yeah, and this is guaranteed from here. Yeah, GG's. He just should have gone for game, right? If that last life was a giant, we got out of it, but come on, man. You're Belo Betty. You're Belo Betty. You've got to go for game when you have the option. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about those games. Those were not ranked. I'm still fairly new to this deck. This format is not even coming out for another couple of weeks, so we won't be playing ranked just yet. Waiting times are very long. But as we get closer to the format, we will start playing ranked, of course, as we begin our grind towards the OP11 meta. We're also getting those starter decks revealed sort of as we speak. A bunch of the new cards have been leaked, so we'll see how that impacts the meta once all of them are revealed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.